Yo,
Yo yo yo, how are you?
ça va bien?
Ça va et toi?
I'm practicing my French. I'm practicing my French.
Okay, so maybe I have a good one. Wait,
Okay,
let
maybe
me.
you have a good one. Okay.
Okay, but actually, I don't remember if we reviewed it already or not. Maybe you do. I don't think we reviewed this
Easy
game.
Dream? I don't think so actually. I think that was like towards the end, right? I'm not sure what you did.
Yeah, yeah, it's the last game of the regular split.
So we can definitely review that. Let's not talk about playoffs.
Yeah, no, but I don't have the playoff ones anyway.
Let me turn off the text now. Wait, I do this. Okay. Okay. I'm streaming here. I'm streaming here, right? Okay, good.
Yeah, you should. But
Okay. Okay.
okay, I can watch it.
Yeah. I'm streaming Discord.
Yeah,
See?
it's working. Yeah, it's fine.
What?
Yeah, it's working. At first, I didn't see
Okay.
it. I'm on it.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a bit bigger, but it's fine. Otherwise, like we can honestly watch over this game, and then we can also look to check a bit of world games if you're interested.
Oh yeah, for sure. Could
I
be
only
nice.
have the T1 EDG like replay file right now though, so I don't know how interesting that is. But we can of course always like just watch we can always just of course watch whatchamacallit, the stream.
Yeah, sure. If you have like some cool Graves games as well, they could be nice.
I don't know if I have cool Graves games. Let me just check real quick. What Graves games were played up until now at Worlds? I mean, I know Pioshik played it like yesterday, right? But his game, like this Grave game, was like really boring to watch. I think he griefed really hard.
There's Kanavi that played some, I think, as well. Who else played some Graves games? I'm not sure. I didn't watch yesterday games, by the way. I was sleeping.
Yeah. Pioshik. Yeah, I mean, he had good like KDA, right? But it was not a good game.
Okay.
Levi played it against Rogue, but then again, like he did this build, and then he dealt 0 damage.
Wait, you don't like this build, by the way?
I think this is good if you get really far ahead, but look enemy draft. Look this draft. You
No,
think you
no,
get?
yeah. No.
You think?
The build is,
You think you can get very far ahead this game? I don't think so. Like you need to perma your mid laner.
yeah, I think you just go Eclipse.
Yeah, you for sure go Eclipse, right? Because there's a team fight at Baron, right? And he flashes onto Tribby, does full combo, and he doesn't even Half-Life. Look, I show you. I hope I find it here. I hope I don't spoil you right now. But I just want to show you, like, fight. Yeah, I think this is the fight. No, this is the steal. No. Wait, next Baron.
Oh yeah, I saw this on Twitter, I think.
Next Baron is interesting. After next Baron, it's over. Yeah, like, Levi smoke screened, he smoke screened the Kalista. So she didn't know when to press E. But look, this fight. Like, this Grace build is only good if you're ahead. And you don't get ahead this game, so you just play Mage Grace, right? You just do Magic Trick Grace. Like,
Yeah.
you ult and people disappear, right? You know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
Look. Like, Levi's like looking for, like, fight, right? Look. He doesn't do damage. Look at this, Matt. Matt?
I mean, Saka is broken though.
Yeah, Soraka is broken, but like, how do you like? What do you do
Yeah.
against that? Then maybe Kenyan against Zidu. But this is like very over early, right? Like hero fight at the latest. But this is not too bad to watch. And then there's Wei against Genji.
Maybe this game could be cool.
Maybe this game is good.
Okay.
Wait, let me just message someone, but I probably don't get it in time, honestly, for like
Okay.
this coaching session. But we can like watch like the worlds like the stream.
Yeah, sure.
But jungle is fine, right? Like you don't really need like you don't need to replay file too much because you still see what jungle does, right? Okay, let's talk about this game though. You see this game, of course it's like a little bit different meta, but honestly this craft is not too far away from what's being played at Worlds, right? We still see Lucianami, we just don't really see Zaya and like Wukong. But if we think of Wukong as like Vego, it's like pretty much similar, honestly. So it's not too far different, right? So you see this game, what do you think when you see this?
Well, I think both top laners won't do much, so for sure this game will be about bot lane and mid.
Yeah.
But actually, I feel bad in this game because I'm playing Olaf, I want to farm, but I know that my mid laner wants to play aggressive in this game,
Yeah.
so yikes a bit.
Like I don't know if you remember like Like didn't play too many mages, I think, towards the end, right? I'm not like I'm really bad at remembering stuff over like long period of time, right? But right now, right? What we usually see in like these sort of matchups, right? When you I don't want to like see where you press tab again. Ah. Okay, there you press tab. Right? Like usually what we see currently in like mage against like melees is the following, right? We often see like double wards on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So the mage can play really aggressively without getting ganked, right? Because your goal with Silas is to make sure that your Silas is actually allowed to play the game a bit.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, Silas doesn't really care about lane against Seraphine. Seraphine can't poke him down. If he wants to, he can start D-shield and the lane is like completely free. Like your Silas doesn't really care. So honestly, like Silas is quite strong when it comes to that, like against Seraphine, right? You don't really need to play around him too much. As long as he's allowed to fight the Seraphine, right? So what you usually do if you play against Silas, right? Depending on how strong the lane is, right? If he can fight, you just look toward one side, right? Possibly the side you path towards as a team. So he can hover into bot side and still fight, right? And if like enemy comes, he can still like run to you. Because most jungles with like most mid laners, it's not that free to like just one shot him, right? He still can get out if he flashes. And then you can help him, right? So you just want one side. Whereas like most mid laners, right? You want to like sort of want both sides, right? So like if Olaf, like I mean you're playing Olaf this game, right? Olaf wants to clear and Olaf doesn't have the best ganks, right? But let's say it's like Vi Silas, of course you need to make sure that your Seraphine can play, right? Your Seraphine wants to go for push. If your Seraphine doesn't go for push, it like kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like if she just like gets perma push in, right? Then Silas is just broken champion if he like, can perma push. But what we usually see right now is when people like start double warding, and I don't know if it will happen to you like in your trials and scrims, right? But it's like basically the meta right now is people legit start like instead of like 5 point, right? They start very very deep, and like sometimes even there's brushes, right? If you have better level 1, and a scout if you ward or not. I don't know if you've seen it already at Worlds.
No.
Right, so Seraphine wants double ward there, right? So how do you counter it? If you have to gank around mid, you just start like your bot lane here in like pixel brush, right? And then like someone scouts here level 1, and you check if they ward actually. And this is something you can do if you really want to play around mid. Here the question is if you want to, right? Because your Silas is like still sort of fine. If he goes D-shield, I don't know if he needs to, right? But if he goes D-shield, he for sure doesn't need any help. Impossible that he gets poked down. And then I honestly believe that you can probably just full clear towards bot side if you just place good vision for your bot side. Right? So I think if we have like vision here, right? And we have like a ward here, then it's like really free. But I'd probably like drop pink ward honestly for your bot lane. I'd probably drop like pink ward here. For your bot.
Yeah.
And then like wards here, and they wards here. And then it's like really free because you don't really need like refillable potion on Olaf.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the bot lane can probably play super aggressively without dying. And then you can full clear and you just play Scuttle and then you're both happy, no? And Silas has vision towards bot side so you can play decently aggressive. But we don't need Silas here, I think. Because bot lane is winning so hard, right? It's Lucianami against Ayaraka. Lucianami got hard nerfed, right? But at this point they were still like winning. Like you're talking about that they might lane evade? Bro. This is like Olaf after changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not like broken Olaf level 1.
But you should be a bit careful with Rakan. We destroyed.
Right, so this is like
I hope I don't get
for sure fine. Okay, yeah, for yes is going boom. I remember. Actually, I don't remember. I just said it to sound smart. I don't actually remember this at all. Right, but here we go for full clear. But like, what is like a little bit, what sucks a bit is like we don't know how to impact mid, right? Because we didn't scout level 1 where to actually place. Like I think the level 1 ward we get for lane is like fine, right? Because you don't want them to start in lane and then cheese our bot lane, right? This is good, I think. I think 80 carry can do it like you did it this game, so it's like fine. Otherwise, you can just do it. And then I prefer like Silas warding here, like 125. He doesn't have to like start in lane, right? He can just ward there. Or can go even deeper because it's Silas if you really want to, but it's like always leaves the risk that he ganks like this, right? And we need like control bot here, or like control. And then you just place control bot for bot lane, so your bot lane can play aggressively, I think. Because then you can full clear, right? So here, the thing you should go through your mind is, okay, how do we actually have to play this game? Because usually, number 1, we want to play through Silas into bot side, right? We can't really do this too much here. Against most teams that want both sides, it's like hard, right? Anyway. And the thing is, we don't need to anyway, because our bot lane is this hard winning. And Silas should be allowed to Sama move anyway for Scuttle. Because Seraphine is not like hard winning, right? So it's not like we have to 3 camp into like mid, towards bot side, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, of course, enemy can always just match that. Even if he matches it, it fucking sucks for us. right? So we just like full clearing here. I do like that. I do that. But if you want to full clear here, like ask yourself, okay, how do I make it sure, like for me, that I'm allowed to full clear, right? Because here, like the question is, are you allowed to full clear? And you're probably not. Depends how your bot lane wards, right? But they have double ward because you warded level 1, right?
Yeah.
But it's like still scary because on third wave crash, Wukong can already come, right? So they drop a ward here, which is like the best ward, like solo ward you can do. Because it scouts like both directions, right? But it's still like a little bit scary.
Yeah, I feel like we like a ward on mid lane here.
Yeah.
Like it's 3 minutes already and we didn't have any wards.
Yeah, because Silas is warding now. But why can't he just ward like level 1, I think?
Yeah, I think he should like go at 125 now. Like
yeah,
before
yeah, exactly, right? Because at 125 he has ward until now. Of course, like Wukong can still like gank mid lane at this point, right?
Like he could be face checking Wukong as well here.
Yeah. Because this is like scary. This is really scary ward. Right? So either like ward earlier, I think this is fine. And if you like think you can play really aggressively, then Silas should just ward after like wave 2. Like if you want to play really aggressively.
Yeah,
Or-
but he doesn't get prior, right?
Or
So he can
we drop a
it.
ward here and control ward here. This is also fine.
Yeah, but whose control ward is this one?
Yours.
I'm
Like
But
if
said that
yeah,
we use it for bot.
yeah, exactly, right? Let's say Silas wants to hard play around mid, because right, the Silas is playing super greedily, right? If he just gets shoved in, then he does need a late ward here. That's what I mean, right? Like if he's gonna get shoved in, he can just ward here like 125, 130, right? If he wants to play aggressively, like he needs like a next ward, right? Because then wave is like here.
Put it here, by the way. I think you should put it at Raptors. Here it's kinda useless.
125 ward
okay.
here is like also fine. But the
Yeah,
problem is,
but
like if you 125 ward this, right? Of course you can do Raptors, but sometimes it's like a bit bait. Because if the scout Silas goes deep, Wukong might go like this.
Yeah, but anyway, even if he wards here, then Wukong can just do Raptors and dash through the wall with W and still gank mid, right?
What do you mean? Like if he wards here, you can just...
Like, I mean, not Raptors. Like he does red, he skips Raptors and then dash through the wall and just
You
ganks
mean
mid.
like this
I
or
feel
what?
like, yeah, with both wards, I
No,
feel
no,
like
no, no, no.
you can
You
dodge
can't.
anyway.
Can't. Like if you do, look. Like if you do proper ward on ramp, he can't. If you do this, this doesn't show up properly, right?
Even if he
Like,
hugs
this
the
is
wall?
too small. I'm not sure. I don't think you can. Like maybe you place it like a little bit, like tiny bit further back.
Okay.
But like good Raptor wood like doesn't show, right? I know Chovy did it today. That's why I'm just gonna use it real quick. I know Chovy did it today. Where's the entire game? Why is it always highlights? I don't give a shit about highlights. Right. Wait, did Chovy do it this game? He surely did it at one point. I remember he did it. Look. You see the vision in River?
Yeah. Okay, so it's like on the wall, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. So you cannot, right? If you do it properly.
Yeah, but then this ward is bad at 125, right? Because Wukong will never gank before the ward expires.
Depends if you like 3 camps into mid.
No, because then he arrives when the ward will fall, most likely.
No, if you do 125, it's up until 255. It's just like 3 camp gank.
I guess. But then if he, but if he does like his full topside into red and then wants to gank, then you're fucked, right?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I feel like he should never go mid after 3 camps in this game. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, like you should also like finish your full clear at 312. If you get leash on Olaf. But either way.
You should take E level 2.
But either way, right? Let's say outsider says he can play aggressively, right? In communication. Then Silas just wards here and you control wards here. And then bot lane just does this ward.
Yep.
Because if you deep ward, your bot lane also knows when Wukong can come. Right?
Yeah.
And then they just play around that as well. So you can also like control ward mid. Like if Silas gets pushed in, I'd like to control ward bot lane more though. Because then Wukong plays over mid, right? But
if Seven plays well, Silas shouldn't have prior, no? Or how does the matchup go?
I think Silas can just fight it, honestly. I think she just deals 0 damage.
Okay.
Like look, like imagine this guy is D-shield as well. Like he deals a little bit less damage, right? But like Silas just doesn't die to her.
Because if he doesn't get prior, I'm just scared that Seven gets the ward for free, level 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of wanted them play for objectives. So.
Also makes sense, right? But this is like what I mean, right? Like if he gets prior and he says it, then we just do like the ward on Raptor and then like control it here. And if he doesn't, we just do like wards here, in my opinion, and then control bot here. And then aggressive ward here, right? And then you just full clear, your bot lane can Unga Bunga push, full gives you prior. They should not be allowed to contest, and you just full clear to scuttle. And then, if you have like really good vision like this, you also don't care about like skipping blue buff first. I think you just do blue buff instantly and then to scuttle just for like the best like efficiency.
Yeah.
They can try though. We don't have flash on.
Wukong is pathing down, right? So it's like fine for our bot lane to crash on 3 or 4.
Is missing ladder. Okay, so
If Wukong doesn't gank bot now,
So that is like really good for your economy. You should insta-look top lane though. Like top lane is bouncing because it's now, right? So what you want to do here is, like depending on bot lane goes, right? But Lucian Nami should always win because you have winning bot lane, right? Wukong sort of needs to like in many cases, Wukong will need to fix bot lane, right?
I mean, yeah, not right now, but yeah. Actually, here we could dive them, no? By the way. I mean, Wukong is most likely behind, but...
Yeah, like if you just go from mid into bots, sure, you can. Yeah, sure.
Maybe if I skip blue and go mid instantly?
Yeah, actually, you're a good point, but yeah, wait. But I don't know what the sums are.
No. Yeah, I think it's crashing a bit too fast.
Like, we would need to set that up earlier. Like, if they... Like, right now, they're still full HP, right? So, like, I wouldn't mind our bot lane for not calling it instantly, right? But let's say they're already low HP and your bot lane doesn't call it, then I'm, like, hard flaming them, by the way. Because there's a chance, right? Yeah, I think so, too. There's a chance we can dive. If you just go mid lane into bot side here. At least you can threaten it, right? Otherwise, like, we just do extra early game from early season. You remember?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind that too much either, but bot lane should have just, like, probably just reset on 4. Like, this wave sucks a bit. Like, I don't know what happened here bot lane. But they should just eat the wave, I think. Just eat the wave and reset. Or at the very least reset on this wave, because next is cannon, right? Next is 6. The bot lane not reset on this wave, right? Because this here is 6. And they should already be base, so this sucks a bit, right? Because they don't have base, like they don't have bounce out of base when you want to play dragon. So this sucks a bit, right?
Yeah.
They need to go for like another base now. Because what happens now is they will crash the wave because wave is bigger. Like they have too big of a wave, right? And I think they might still have a potion. Maybe Wukong needs to come here. But I think Xayah Rakan just like crashes by themselves, honestly, with such a big wave. And then the bot lane doesn't have mana. And now you have to play their wave stack to crash the wave and you can't play Drake on it. So that's really fucking sucks here already. That is not nothing.
Why can't we play Drake? I don't really understand. I feel like Xayah Rakan crashes the wave. Like not on this one, but the one after that. Oh, because they didn't base yet. That's
Yes.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like this is what I mean. Right, imagine like Wukong right now just says, okay. I mean, Wukong can't really come bot, I guess, so it's like sort of fine. And this is like pre-nerf Lucian Nami, right?
Yeah.
The pre-nerf Lucian Nami can probably still hold the wave. I think after the nerf, like Xayah Rakan, when they have a big wave, legit just crash it.
If you can crash a slow push bot, not on this side, but one after.
But it sucks that we reset here anyway. Like that we don't reset here. Like this is bad by us as fundamentals as a team. Because it should have already crashed. Because what we're playing for is objective. I don't care if like Juju gets 2 or 3 extra CS lead because of this. I want this dragon 100%. 1000% I want this dragon.
Yeah, especially if we play Olaf and Lucian Nami.
Yeah, because
Thanks.
I changed my mind on Lucian Nami. I think nowadays, like I don't hate it as much as I used to. But I like it because you get objectives, not necessarily because it wins lane. I don't really give a shit that it wins lane. Like not in like sense of like the winning lane because like winning lane is so broken, but winning lane because objectives are broken.
Yeah.
We probably need to have a mid lane after this wave, so you can crash. Or do we have info on Wukong? Well, I guess Silas is fine. I don't know like how strong Wukong is at this point. Because this guy, the champion got like changed many times, right? So I have no idea how strong he is.
I think it's not nerfed yet on the clear. I don't remember actually. So then here it feels a bit weird because we die and then I cannot play drag now.
Yeah.
Can I?
But yeah, we can't. But this is like the problem, right? So if this is a scrim, right? The problem is not resetting on 5. Like we need to reset on 5 and then just go like base before 6. And then they crash, you come from base, right? They still need to go base, right? And then we have they crash on 6, right? Most likely they just try to yeet the wave, or they crash on 7. And then we have 7, 8, or 8, 9 or as bounce, and then we just play for Drake on it when we have items.
No.
And they still won base, right? So we 100% get it. So this solo kill here is really cringe.
If I look, yeah, but no flash, it's
So this is really bad by us as a team.
Simon Raken.
Like we can still look to play for Drake here because it's a bounce and they like are on base. But it's on nearly as free because they actually have a lead now.
Simon Raken.
And also like if we look to plan for to play this dragon, right? You need to really ask simply what he needs to do. Because right now, like you're just doing your cams, right? And you look for what you can do, right? So if you want to play for Drake here, I know you want to play for max economy. But then simply already needs to be base here. And not go base right now. Right?
Wait, so what does it change? I don't really get it.
What it changes is that he goes base and you counter Drake. If they contest, no?
But he just TPs instantly, no?
Are they just match? What did Seraphine already TP?
I think she didn't base yet, no? Oh, she did actually.
She did.
Yeah, she already TP'd.
She reset
I guess.
TP'd?
I think so. Because she was very low.
And
Oh,
if she
yeah.
reset TP, it's fine. If she reset TP, it's fine. Otherwise, I'm a bit scared. Because we have like stack here, sure, right? But their bot lane is stronger. Yeah, it should be fine actually, you're right. I'm a bit scared though here.
Yeah, how do we play it if they come though? We just fight them, I guess?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
it's
go
Wukong.
Okay, if you can crash this bot, I move to like it.
I can't crash.
Like here, like I'm just a bit scared that they might be able to contest.
Crash on bot? I think you do.
No, no.
Don't really think they can now, because we get bot prio, and if
Yeah.
Seraphine comes on mid, then we have Silas flanking her, and I think
Yeah,
we
I
crush
was
them.
wondering if bot lane prior is just fake, right? Because look, they reset right now. I was thinking that they're already here right now on lane. Look. Look when Zaya bases. So here Zaya goes base, right? She crashes wave right now. But now she's in base. Now she's back to lane. No? Like, I don't know where she is. Look. Like, now she's going base, right? Now at the very latest, she's base right now. This is 24 seconds. Like, they could just hard contest bot lane wave.
I'll start Drake now.
I think we should not get this Drake if they play it correctly, no? Is they
Mm,
already
I
in bot
guess.
lane wave right now?
I mean, if they really want to deny us, I guess they can.
Yeah, but what else
maybe
can they do?
no. Yeah, but the issue with that is that the issue is that if they outpush this bot wave, I feel like even if we cannot play Drake, then we have a slow push for Herald, no? And then they lose Herald from it. Don't you think so?
Let's say they crash right now and they just deny you, right? I mean,
But
do
you
you
think
plan
they can
to?
just one shot the wave like this?
No, I think
Nami
we
is
just.
key out though,
I
but-
think we just don't get first move.
Yeah.
Like this is what I care about, right? And if they delay you, right? You don't have anything to do on bot side, right?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna stand like for 1 minute on bot lane?
Okay, if you can crash
By the way, I
this
think we're stronger than them for before. Like, as long as Wukong doesn't have his ult, and
yeah,
Zaya as well?
yeah.
I think we should win.
Probably, right? Here I'm just like a bit scared. Like if it's a 4v4, I agree. But what I'm scared about here is them just yeeting the wave.
so they could look to contest.
Yeah, then maybe.
Because in
Nami
my
should
opinion,
be
they
on
should
lane, I guess.
like no matter what, right? Even if they can't contest, they should look to the latest play. Don't you agree?
But I feel like they really can't, to be honest.
No,
But maybe Nami should be in lane to deny this.
yeah. Like if Silas goes base anyway, she should be in there. But let's say they're already here in bot lane and they just go on Lucian right now.
Well, I shouldn't start like for sure then.
Yeah, of course, right? But this is my point. Like even if they can't contest it, they should look to play to delay it. I agree with you with the point that they shouldn't be able to contest it, but they're still gonna delay you. And it's like their plan, right? Like they're gonna win the scaling game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But-
sort of.
Mm.
I
No,
think
yeah,
we can.
Silas wasn't in fog, right?
No, Silas won base for sure.
Yeah, they saw him baiting. Yeah, not sure why they take so much time.
Yeah, like I also don't know why like Saya took so long. Because she's for sure not doing stones, right? Wukong is paddling down. Like it's not like she's
I
doing
mean-
to play for that.
I mean, she doesn't have boots though. Look at her build. Maybe that's why. She just have item damage.
Now they are basing.
Right now they go
Double blade.
base. Now at the very latest she's base. When does she show again? So this is 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. They took 50 seconds to go back to bot lane, bro.
Okay, maybe they opened on mid, or we're scared about.
I
just
have
playing
no
the
idea what
red
they're
or
doing.
something.
I have no.
Yeah. no.
Maybe.
Just no even push, okay?
Right, this is my point, right? They should be in bot lane. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, bot lane crash.
They see
Okay, we just do it like extra play, right? So we let them bounce now, what? Or why do we crash bot lane here?
We are getting freeze, I
Ah,
guess.
okay, here we get frozen. Yeah, sure, okay. Never mind. I saw incorrectly. We just crash. Wukong could be invading here.
Rakan is behind him, by the way.
Wukong should see him in bot lane. You should have bot lane to respect. Like, the only problem that we have by you already being here
Oh, I did so.
is that Wukong can look to gank bot lane to enable them to, like, crash, right?
But then if they do this, I can just invade Wukong bot side camps,
Ye-
no? And get out of place.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying that right here.
Yeah.
When you're going to top side, you should communicate with your team that Wukong might flip gank onto them.
But at the same time, Wukong should be topside at this timing, right? Like, if he ganks bot here, it means that all of his topside camps are up. And I think I have mid prior at this timing, no? Or does Silas cannot get it? Yeah, I do. So I feel like here, if he's ganking bot, I can just run to his topside, get 1 or 2 camps, and then if they play for hard, I also get his bot side camps, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like it's maybe bad for him.
I agree that it's gonna be bad for him.
No.
But if your bot lane dies, I don't think it's still gonna be like a problem for you. I think.
I think we should.
Yeah, but it just doesn't make sense that he's bot, so it's kind of weird to communicate this, no? It's like saying
Depends, no? I mean, he's still
then
level 5, I guess.
at
He's
this
not level 6, but...
yeah, it should be 6 after 2 camps or so.
Yeah, he's not level 6. Like, here I'm just scared, right? Because I know your bottom wants to go push, and they've got setup support. And they don't really have good vision. Their vision is not good enough to push. So yeah, I'm a bit scared. So I'm wondering, is there like any way to actually get better vision? Wait. Does Silas check Raptors right now, and they're still up? Or does he not see them? I think he doesn't see them, right? It would be very weird if his Raptors are up.
Yeah.
He doesn't see them. Like, if Wukong's Raptors are up here, like, honestly, what the fuck is he doing?
And it could be in my top side.
Yeah.
Slow push this way. They gave low.
No, but he still should have full cleared. Look, you full cleared and then you Drake.
But
Unless he inside goes across map.
do you think they need me to back the bot first, by the way? Because I feel like as long as they hear that I just done the Drake, they should respect me on
No,
bot.
I think level 5, like level 5 Wukong is not scary. If it's actually level 5 Wukong, I guess it should be fine.
Because of this, I could be losing my top camps. So that would be a bit bad. I think if the other jungler is better, he's already in my top side, by the way. Because we can never do anything on them bot, so I just lose 2 camps from this. And then he has level 6 advantage and we lose Herald. And that's a bit disaster. Like this is really bad for me, at least.
I like that they communicate that they see you on bot lane wave though. I mean, like everyone on the team should know, right? But laners are stupid, you know that. I don't know if I told you to do this, by the way. But it's good that you do, because laners are stupid.
Rakan might behind him, by the way. 4 seconds.
We level 6 bot lane should get pushed here and then just crash and move.
Wukong is here. I might
Here, do you like going for Herald, by the way?
Xayah base.
I'm unsure. I mean, like, this is before Herald boss, right?
Yeah.
Depends. If enemy bot lane camps are up, like, I'd rather sprint to enemy bot side camps.
Yeah.
Like
And
before.
also,
Like, after changes, like, for now, I'd for sure take Herald, if you can play it.
because we just Mega now as well, right? So that could be a bit rough if Wukong is 6, which he should be.
I don't think they can contest.
I want them moving, so it's fine. But
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
rotating, but if
Like, before Herald changes, I just sprint to this bot side camp. If I have mid lane prio, basically, and you have mid lane priority right here. Because Silas is too strong, if Seraphine contests, you just kill her.
and he just did Scuttle, right? So I know that he was topside. No, it's a long time ago.
Nah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say he just did scuttle, huh?
Yeah. It's a long time ago, but
Like, after Herald changes, I'd probably just do it, honestly.
yeah, but here also, I don't like the fact that we're not defending those camps. I think we'll lose 1 or 2. But I feel like
But,
at least it's something that I saw from some Worlds games. But mid and support are just opening on bot side sometimes to protect the camps when the guy is doing hard. I mean, when hard is free, right?
Yeah.
Like here, when that is free.
like
so
here
I
it's
think-
3, I think simply just goes back to mid to instant
Yeah.
one-shot his lane and then defend your camps.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like him staying so much because then I lose 2
But
camps.
here, like, he simply should move anyway. Because they should look to possibly catch your bot lane before they connect. They have, like, one play here. Like, this is a bit scary. Like, I mean, Juju respects, right?
But can you go back a bit? Because I want to see how we could have defended those camps.
Like, here, like, if your team can't walk to wave anyway, they should go to jungle.
Yeah, for sure. But it's even earlier than this, no?
I mean, that will go base, no?
Because here Wukong should be sprinting to my bot side camps. Can't
But-
Nami and Silas
No,
just go in my
Juju
bot
crashed
side?
and went base. Nami hovered you for the play and just reset as well. If Nami alone goes to your bot side, it doesn't matter.
I think Kami shouldn't be here, because as long as we see Rakan bot, we don't need her. We win 3 and then she can maybe protect the camps with Lushan and Silas.
I guess here resets if you want to reset. I think you're moving up is good though.
I'm finishing my rotation. By the
Yeah,
way.
for sure. But just for that on stage. That...
Like here you could say I don't need you.
Yeah, here
Yeah,
for sure. I see
Here
Rakan.
you communicate, okay, what the play is. We defend bot side camps, I guess.
But does he need to base with his Nami? Or he can go in my...
He
like,
probably.
if he can...
I don't know if he got wards. He probably got wards, I think.
Yeah. Because if he can get mid power with Silas and shift into my bot side jungle, then I don't lose anything. And the move is perfect.
Hmm. I don't know. You don't press tab because you're noob.
Should never pass tab.
Yeah, you're so low mechanics.
Yeah, it's by the way.
I mean, yeah, you didn't have to like track Wukong jungle though, so it's like sort of fine because he never showed himself.
Ooh.
Oh, you pressed tab? Like this is by the way such a fake tab press. No way you saw this in like the 3 frames here. No way you saw shit. But here, like when you connect here, and by the way, this is a habit you should have, right? Learn when you can think, because right there, there's nothing you have to think about, right? Nothing is happening to you, right? So this is where you're coordinating your team. And you're gonna say right now, like they go for crossbar on bot side, right? We know this. Seraphine is in fog, right? Rakan is in fog. They're looking for invade and possibly to inside dive your bot lane if they walk up stupidly, right?
Mhm.
This is their play. So right now, wait, what do you say? Let me check. I hear what you say. You don't.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I know. Otherwise, I can't draw. But here you said they want to look for the camps. Can we look for a fight here, right? But you don't tell your bot lane to go there. Because right there you say, catch your wave and then we look. But he can't catch his wave.
Yeah.
Of course your laner should realize that, right? But you're always going to play with laners that will not realize it either because they might not have the knowledge, which I'm not going to... I don't want to flame Juju here, right? Or you just don't see it, right? It's always going to happen. Like everyone misplays, right? So if you think about the game right now, right? Think, well, if they cross me there, is Lucian allowed to like walk up? No, he's not, right?
Nope.
So the question is, can we possibly walk in through here? Like this is also a bit scary, right? But if Silas takes his wave and Jen just hovers here for a second, they can check. Because if they fight here 3v3, they don't win.
But I think it's too late though. I would have liked to do this on a wave earlier.
Yeah, sure. But it's still better than what is happening right now.
Yeah, staying in these bushes for sure useless.
Yeah, but what else is like just gonna do, right? Like he has to wait for you. So if he has to do like, otherwise, simply doesn't want to move and like lose his wave completely, right? So he should like half move, and then you try to re-enter here.
Yeah.
But for me, like before Herald changes, you just don't do Herald, honestly. You just walk in, like you just run mid lane, get mid lane push, and run enemy bot side camps.
Yeah, maybe.
Because then you get his camps and he doesn't get yours, right? So this is basically for me like a 400 gold lead to 500 and a lot of experience. They got this, they got this. Shouldn't be on wolves. But here, like this is, in my opinion, actually worth the trade for them. After every
Yeah.
changes where you get like 200 extra gold, I think it's fine. I like 200 extra gold. But what is the next play here? Like, what do you think is the next play?
Well, we want to look to her either for mid or bot, I guess.
Like, how did you make the decision to herald for middle bot?
Well, usually I press tab and look at the items. For example, if Lushan already has a Gale Force, I'm thinking that he doesn't necessarily need more golds, then maybe I should head for my mid so he gets faster to his mythic.
Yeah, I mean, this is one way. Like, another way is like to realize how important it is for you comp to get enemy mid T1. And how realistic you're gonna get it without it, right? Because the way I look at your comp, you don't really have siege. And with the Zarya Seraphine, the mid lane T1 is gonna stand for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Unless you completely snowball the game, right? But if you completely snowball the game, it doesn't matter either way where you place it. But how does Juju die here? He walks up to the lane alone, doesn't he? Yeah. They're cheesing a bit. We don't respect the cheese. But yeah, like this is the point where just like Sado gets stomped, right? I'm not sure. Decided reset here? Why do you go for this reset?
Not even sure.
Like, I think this reset is just like, I have nothing to do.
Kinda,
But
I
like
think I
Ruby
get
Crystal
that
like
first.
doesn't. Yeah, you just do Raptors. Because the Ruby Crystal like base is not gonna change anything, right?
Yeah.
And if your base doesn't change anything, you might as well not base. Like maybe we change to be like the strongest for Drake, but rather instead of this here, right? The thing is, you should realize here you have a mid lane move, right? And it's something you really need to do as a jungle. So here, like you farm your camps and you're thinking, okay, what is happening on the map, right? Silas is resetting right now. If Silas is resetting right now and Seraphine didn't reset, you know you have a turn. Agreed?
Yep.
So we have like if it's not Sayarakan, which is like the most disgusting name to dive here, you have a dive on this wave.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? If it's like possible like for you as it come to dive. Because you already know you have mid lane timer. So you just run mid and you run bot lane together. Because Silas has to play a bit safely, right? If you're already here, you already took Raptors, and you run with him, you just yeet the wave and you just instant go bot lane here. It should already be here. Imagine you're already here. Wukong was even at Raptors, like you would not have expected it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we can't really dive though.
Yeah, it's Zaya Rakan. It's Zaya Rakan. Was sort of. Because like this, it feels a bit bad. By the way, you really see this is after the one game where they just one shot our Herald, and this is why you've been legit every game you've been hugging Herald ever since. By the way, I don't know if you saw this.
Really?
Yeah, in one competitive game they one shot our Herald, and ever since then you hard hovered Herald every game. I'm not kidding.
We don't have like now, we get them in. Sure, we win the fight.
Yeah, we can't
If we still just kill them. I think if they start back, they are dead for sure. Mid wave and we plan.
Like you said, if they start Dragon,
But
they're dead for sure.
I don't like this Herald though. Can you go back?
Yeah, I don't like it either. But like here, like in my opinion, like I mean, Zaya Rakan is just really hard to dive. But instead of this here, I think like first of all, I think we should always play Herald mid lane this game because this mid lane turret is never gonna fall otherwise.
Yeah.
And your bot lane already is prior, right? So instead of this, I'd rather do this and then just look to go mid lane. Like
Yeah.
I think like faking it to dive here. So maybe enemy has like if like dive is possible, right? And enemy having to like go a long way to defend it is like fine, but then you just go top lane. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Niski. I'm not sure, right? Or was the Fnatic game with the Humanoid? Either way, right? While they looked to push top mid lane, I think it was a game by Niski. It was like they played like Talia Belveth or something. I don't quite remember, right? But they threatened bot lane dive, right? Because of bot lane dive, enemy had to move like long way. And then they re-went to mid lane, inside yeeted the wave, and then they just went to for the dive opportunity again. Like I don't mind like threatening dive here, if this means that enemy has like to connect in a weird way. But what just happens right now is they just get mid push, and from mid push they just get bot push, and then you can't really do anything.
Get the mid.
Yep.
So instead of this, I think you're stronger on mid lane, right? Because
for
it's
sure.
Seraphine, so who gives a shit? So yeah, I want you to like if you actually play for an objective, I want you to always be on mid lane wave when it's there. Like
Yeah,
if you
I'm
actually
here,
want to set up for the play, because your bot lane just crashes, right? Your bot lane just crashes and it's fine. They move up, you yeet the Herald, and then you just walk in together, and then you just perma keep mid section control. Because either they can like open through bot lane then, right? And then Seraphine should still have a hard time connecting, or it's just your dragon.
Yeah. I
So
see.
here, like we're hard playing over bot side when it's not really like our goal. We don't want to we want to fight for bot lane, but we want to go mid into bot lane, not through bot lane.
Gragas can maybe TP on the chart, but
If we have Seraphine this game, like I think it's sort of fine. But
Don't
we have
start right
Silas,
now,
right?
Get the mid wave and we plan this mid.
Yeah.
Like we connect.
I'm ulting this.
Can we fight them?
So here, this is like a bit pain, and I think here we lose the game. I think if I remember correctly.
It's bad fight.
Don't we take a fight here?
Okay, I can low.
maybe I can.
Ah, never mind. They go out.
Actually,
So simply.
I think it's on.
Okay, no Seraphine.
I think here we should kill them all. No? Can you go back? Even though the mistakes come from earlier. Wait, go back again. Yeah, like here. I feel like we just keep bot wave and run at them. No? We have Culling, Nami ult, Silas ult. How can they just do Drake in front of us like this? I think we just ditch this bot wave, run instantly.
Yeah, but you know there
Okay.
was like always a problem, right? Ditching waves.
Rakan at W.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you though. I think looking to play for this fight is best. I mean, Nami ult also isn't the best. But if we're here to pressure, then like he doesn't feel like he needs to insert ult because he thinks that he needs to insert ult. I think.
It's bad fight. It's bad fight.
When we just want ult right now. Like if we ult right now, it's very nice.
Yeah. Because I feel like if we give this Drake, then we just.
I love
Lose all
Deimos
the
though.
condition.
He has fight, he just instant TPs. I mean, they're like already out, but at least like he's He's feeling it, man. Like, he calls the I want fight for me, Boukada, and he's just coming. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he's coming as mini now. Like, he's so used to but I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. I mean, we lose, like, Herald play, like, possible TP play in, like, 1 minute 30 now, but...
I think it's good. I think it's bad, by the way.
Oh,
But, like, losing Drakes like this just feels really bad.
okay. Dodo, you have to close your eyes. Don't watch this move, please. Oh my god. I will int this so hard, I remember actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is so fun to watch, guys.
No, it's not.
It's so funny, actually. Oh, come. Come. Run into them and just get one shot by Zaya. Yeah. Ah, you greased it so hard, just kill Zaya, man. You're such a greedy bastard. And you're like in voice. Ah, it's fine. No, it's not fine. Like, this is... No, it's not. Like, the Zaya is 4-0, man. Like, Zaya is the only target that is not allowed to get kills. And she's 4-0, man. This is so fucked. She's gonna one-shot you so hard. Because right now the game is, like, really hard when it shouldn't be. Like, technically our bot lane should not have died. And we just get second dragon, we get the herald, and we just snowball through that.
I mean, our bot lane should be ahead, right? Shouldn't be in this state.
By the way, I think we should.
They should be ahead. They shouldn't be ahead by
Otherwise, I'll get too much.
too much. But definitely like 10-20 CS and like a plate or something.
He has no flash.
But then again, I think this game is like mostly about us not realizing how hard we have to play over mid. Because simply as like a player, also like still needs to improve his communication around setting up what he needs for like to roam. Because we should, in my opinion, threaten dive a lot on stacked waves. I mean, it's Zaya Rakan, so it's not that easy, right? But if our bot lane gets a lead individually in lane, we should always like look to set it up. And they can, because there's a lot of poke, right?
Rakan at W.
I'm ulting this.
And if we can't, we either go Kalis or a different AD carry.
I'm tipping mid, but
It's bad fight, it's bad
Exact.
fight, it's bad
Okay,
fight.
Rakan low.
maybe I can look.
And then we just hard look to play over midsection again. Because here just feels bad. Like Seraphine allowed to rotate for free, like for free, and like Silas not, makes the game a lot harder. I think.
Bot side here as well.
I think this is like the main idea of the game, and like here, like the game is a bit doomed.
Yep.
Give next side for
At this point, we need to like find a play. And when you're behind, I think at Litek we were like too indecisive when it came to like playing the game from behind. Because we should realize at this point we don't win a team fight.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think we win a team fight at this point.
And actually, we can if we find like a lot of flanks on Xayah, I guess. Like, if we come through.
If we find a
angles.
murder flank, of course. Like if we also have like Naud, right? If we find an insane play, of course we can look for a play. But this is like you can always say this, right? You can play against 20-0 Kindred, right? If you blitzcrank hook into your fountain, you can still win the game.
Yeah, but here I feel like.
But here,
they
like,
can
look,
try and flank us though.
Hmm?
Like I feel like if Silas and Nar goes from two different ways, they can't really like zone them from going in, no?
yeah.
'Cause Nar
But we need to
goes
set that up in a way. Because the problem right now is that they have midsection control, right?
Mhm.
They have full midsection control. So at this point, what we need to do is we need to like understand how do we get back into the game. Because right now, what's gonna happen is if they get back onto the map, right? They get midsection control. What are they gonna do after? They're gonna move into side, fix side, right? Go back mid, move into side, fix side, right? They can perma do this. Remember like the 2-lane system I told to you about when we are ahead?
Yep.
Like this is basically what they should perma do. And it's very hard to contest it. Very hard, right? So there's two ways to do it. Either to go back on the map first, right? So here, for example, we're back on the map first, I think. Right? So we have like one turn. Okay, we're not really here, right? But you know what I mean? Like if we reset first, we get like one turn from mid. And from mid, then we can possibly look for a play on side lane, right? But if people respect on side lane, it's hard. So usually what we do at this point is we need to open on side. So you resetting right now for Ninja Tabbers, I think is fine. Right? But you like opening to mid. But we never win mid.
Yeah,
I think you insta open to side.
and we do side to mid, okay. I see.
Yeah. Because you need to find a catch. So if the good games to watch for this is... I mean, I'm gonna spoiler you another game. So we're gonna watch Rogue Gigabytes Marines, I think. Actually, let's just check LOL esports what's. Which game was it? I think it was the game today. I watched too many Worlds games, so I don't fully remember everyone. Oh, this is Fnatic. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's like, I mean, Katie fucking inted, but whatever, right? So what Rogue realizes here is they're too late, right? Like, Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. This is a full from the back cover position, right? They're to mid first. And if they are able to get mid and then shift into here and control these choke points, it's very hard to fight, right? Even though Rogue's comp is very good at hard engaging.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have a lot of peel, but if they still have zone control, like, it's still very hard, right? So what Rogue does, for example, is they insta open to side. They just insta open to side and look for a catch. They don't even go mid. I mean, Katie's fucking inting here. There's no reason for him to be here. Right? But it's the only way for them to actually be in control. And they have to sort of go early anyway, right? If they want to get position onto Drake.
Yeah.
And they can't go through mid, right? So if Katie doesn't int here, they still at least get like in like this position instead of like this position. Right? Which is like still better than what they would otherwise, right? But catching is good. Another good like series to watch for this is the following. Let me open that real quick. It's like top esports JDG, I think. Wait. Is it mid game? No, it's not mid game. Is it rotations? No, it's not rotations. I have it in notes. Yeah. EDG top esports. I think it's in game 1. What happened here is, look. Like, these comps are still sort of even, right? But with top esports comp, they still don't have control over mid section, right? At this point in time. Like, it's still quite hard, right? Against this comp. They still have control because you have Zeri and she's not on IE yet, right? So Callister still wins and they just crash in the wave. You see this? And Ozzy can also like open to mid, right? So what they just perma do is just look for perma catches and it's like similar to what we need to do here. I mean, not really the best ult, right? But they just continue to do this. They just open the side. If you can't contest mid lane, just open side, like be decisive. Sometimes you can still like sort of be in mid. But a lot of times you just need to be decisive and open to side. I mean here, like for example, they opened to mid because they found like a good skirmishy team fight. Now they like 1-3-1 for a second because they've got Baron. Wait, is the game over here already? I don't know. But I think they opened to side here again. Do they? Let me check. I know it happened a lot in this series at least. Let me just check real quick. Like here they still had Baron, right? So like they look to siege. And here they do it again. Never mind, you just teamfight for fun. Why is Akali TPing in? Maybe not. But definitely in the series it happened like a few more times, right? But if you can't contest mid, just shift towards bot side. Because here, like, we can't contest this. Like, this is not going to happen. Like, we have a flank, but this is not good enough. No, it's not here. I mean, Zaya's not here, actually. Maybe. But after this, I just insta-sprint to bot lane. So what you're doing here is good. Like, look. And people like to die on side lane, by the way. Simply you inter. But it's fine.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, so actually I kinda opened that side, but later.
Yeah, this is good. Like here, I think, like I sort of agree with you. But that you like open to side, then here is really good. But people also get caught quite a lot, right? Carries are really bad at that.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you can't control midsection anyway, just look for a catch on side. And if you don't find a catch on side, you still allow your Silas to push out and then look for a flank. Which is still valuable. Because if you're mid and they just push in as long as they can't dive you, like what is the impact? Is all of. You're gonna throw a Q, you're gonna deal 50 damage to Wukong.
Yeah. And get poked.
Yeah, huge. Right? And I think we should continue to do this because we're not contesting this here, by the way. Like, we're not contesting like this. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So instead of this here... I mean, here, like, if they're in this position, we just give Drake, by the way. Like, this is not going to happen. And we can't open like this. Like, it's not going to work. Like, if we run into them, we lose.
Yeah. That's happened. But don't you think maybe Deimos shouldn't be on midwave as well and be with Simply, like in their back?
But he can't. He's taking top lane wave. He does have
Oh, yeah.
teleport. Like, we can look to the later fight him here, and it simply comes from here, and then we get teleport. We can do this, but we didn't communicate it like this. Like, the problem that we have here, right? Like, you get a good catch here, and then what you should communicate is that we still look to play for Dragon, right? But one thing we should realize as a team is, okay, this is, like, not gonna... Like, if we go front to back, this is not gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
At least if we have to run into them, right? So the question is, how do we make sure we don't run into them? And the problem is, either we insta-fight them on this wave, already realize we don't have mid-section control, right? If we insta-fight him here when Zaya can't come, we can maybe find something. But we're not fast enough. And it's Seraphine, so she can clear the wave easily, right?
Herald, I think, soon.
So instead of this, we should like already communicate about it, right? What I dislike, of course, you don't hear the communication. But what I dislike is that we don't understand as a team fundamentally that we don't win a front-to-back team fight. And if we don't win a front-to-back team fight, well, how are we going to win if we want to contest? And we should really discuss this. Like here we're talking about the fight, but from now on, like the only thing I want you to communicate is, do we fight Dragon? If so, well, how are we gonna?
Okay.
Because you guys should understand as professional players that if they get mid-section control, you're not winning. Maybe if now finds a TP play, right? Then you can discuss it. But like this, you're for sure not winning. Like no one thinks like hopefully that you're winning like this. Right? No way in hell, right?
The way we can, yeah.
So either we say, okay, well, unlucky we can't look to contest this, right? Like this. So maybe you ask for like now flank TP. If we have now flank TP, maybe we can. Maybe we can, right? Simply flanking from here and now from here. Good option, right? If we say, okay, this is flank TP, and then we look to fair for this. Then I'm fine with it. Or you don't go for this play. Either or. But here, like contesting Drake like this just sucks. Because we should all of us should know that we don't win this fight.
Don't be afraid, we win the fight now if we are together and we don't get 5.
Wukong here. I want to force his W.
We don't know about Gragas by the way.
Size behind.
You're trying to force his W here, that's what he communicate, but who gives a shit if you force his W?
Size behind.
You're like, I'm gonna force his W. Well, so what? So what? Like here, like I think we're like a bit frustrated and we don't really know how we win the game. Like I mean, it works out sort of because they fight really horribly. But this is like, yeah. I mean, this game, well, point the game is completely over, right?
You should do 0 damage. What the fuck?
Saya no ulti. Saya no ulti.
Do you understand why I didn't like Lucianami?
They lost Xayah flash, Wukong flash.
This is why I don't like Lucianami. Like you need to get you need to be ahead. This champion from behind doesn't work. And I didn't think we were good enough to get ahead every game.
Flash.
Wait, can you go back a bit here though? I want to check something.
Sure.
Like, how do we open them up here?
Like you just run into jungle. Like here, like I don't know why we don't just push that mid lane wave and then like come. Because
Yeah,
here,
but
like
then
you're
you,
already going deep. Why?
I think it's not what we're doing now. We're on 3 lanes, so whatever I do, we won't be able to achieve anything. Like,
mean-
this is what for sure, right? But
Yeah, JDG should maybe also answer, right? But if JDG answers, we have turn from now. Like why do we not wait for turn for now? No? Like this is like the problem.
yeah,
Like here, like it's
But-
like this is what I meant, like with 2-lane system, and this is why I really wanted us to do it, right? We just
then-
realize we have a turn, and like after this wave we have a turn.
yeah. But
Now
look at
comes
how
your
we're
mid.
positioning
This is
on
our
top.
wave. Yeah. I mean, we just crashed the wave, so I think it's fine.
No, I don't think it's fine what we're doing here.
No, what we're doing is fine.
Less rotation to play.
Yeah, you think it's fine? We
I mean,
don't see
Silas should
anyone
not hit
on bot
turret.
or on side, yeah.
Silas should not hit turret. But here, like opening to top lane for Nami to crash the wave is fine.
Oh yeah, it is
After
fine
we
with
go,
it.
after we
So
go
we
mid,
don't-
No, we can't dive them, but
To play.
after we dive mid, to possibly play for this. Or what we should realize is that now is turn after this wave. So why don't we wait now turn? They need to answer bot lane. If they don't answer bot lane, like we're winning
Xayah? Okay, got
in
it.
this play.
Zaya no flash.
Xayah no flash,
Saya
no
no
ult.
ulti. Saya no ulti. Saya's no ulti.
Ah, nice try. I think it's enough, by the way. They lost
Let's tag
Xayah
on top.
flash, Wukong flash.
Okay, get to ace. To start playing the game. Saya still has no flash, no ulti.
Right? Because here, like, it sucks. Because we didn't wait for turn, and now we... Actually, like, this fight still turned out fine. But this is also sort of because they responded, like, badly to it, right?
I mean, we just have a
Because I don't mind you to take skirmishes like this. But not, like, when we're behind, I think. And not like this weirdly. Because we just go for it, because you want to force... Like, this fight starts because you want to force Wukong's W.
Look at Saya.
yeah.
Anthrax?
Like, if you actually communicate, okay, I think we win a skirmish here. I'm sort of fine with it. But, like, this fight is good for us, because you want to force Wukong W. Who gives a shit?
playing the game.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure how we win the game.
I think, again, like before, right? Open to side and look to get a catch.
Fight, by the way.
I guess.
Like, I don't know why you're going to mid. Like, there's no way we ever get mid-section control. If they want to get mid-section control, it's always theirs. So just open side.
Here, they could be mid or top, and if I go top, it's 4-3 and we
Yeah.
lose.
Then we don't play on top lane and you just run bot.
Yeah.
Can you gun?
You guys can go.
Like, we just need to find like a side lane play.
Yeah, we
Because we're not winning otherwise. Because we need to wait for turns, right? Because we don't win 5v5. So this is like what I talked about, right? Like if enemy team wins team fights, right? If they win 5v5, make sure it's not a 5v5, right? So make sure you look for a catch, maybe on side lane, maybe on them entering the map, right? Or you get man advantage by looking to shift, like push outside lane and then shift your side lane into mid, for example.
Would you do this regarding of the game state, like because of the comp, or because we are behind and we can
Both.
just?
I mean, if you're ahead on this comp, you can just unga bunga. I mean, you're fucking Olaf, Silas, Dushinami. If you're ahead on this comp, don't give a shit, just fucking run down turrets.
Yeah.
But you're behind against a comp that counters you. It's not like, well, it is completely based on game state, right? Like, this is what you have to do if you don't win, like, midsection, if you don't win team fights. If you can't win this, you just have to, like, find a different way to play it, right? But one thing to look at is if your idea is to look for catches and get man advantage plays, if they're able to, for free, get midsection control, which you can't really contest, right? And then shift on the side lane, fix it, right? Shift back to mid, play these two lanes after, right? Fix this side lane, and continue to, like, swap between two lane systems. How are you gonna find, like, a play? And they can look to invade your jungle at the same time, right? And if you do it properly, like you know the strength. When we did it properly, we just get every objective. So you have to look for side lane, because if they are able to set up, you just lose. Especially if you're already behind, right? Because they scale well. They Wukong, Seraphine, and Vazaya against like 5 melees basically. I'm just gonna count Lucianami as a melee. Although Lucianami can play over range, right? But Lucianami can play over range. Here you communicate well. Like here you say, okay, the only way we win fights is if we find a flank. I agree. Like when it comes to 5v5 fights, we need to find a flank for sure. And this is good communication. But in the first place, we should look for side lane catch. So instead of opening to mid lane here, which we should not be allowed to contest anyway, I want you to fucking sprint here and maybe look for a catch.
Okay.
You see this? Like if you disagree, tell me. But here, like,
No.
like they could already be in mid as well.
Don't have anything being mid anyway.
Like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So what Simply and Demos are doing here is also good, right? Like if your mid lane and top lane wants to do it, this is also fine.
Yeah, actually here I should be mid because Simply is already doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah, like if they do it and communicate it, that's fine. But either way, you should communicate it. You should realize, okay, we can't contest mid, and we want to look for a catch on side lane. Your mid laner can also do it, right? If you argue, it's way better from a mid laner to do it, which I agree with, right? Then send your mid laner to go side lane with your top laner. That's fine. But it depends on the comp, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was Damon that, like I'm watching so many worlds, like I can just scrap out games, right? I think it was this game where, no, I don't know if it was this game. But in one game, like jungle just went for side lane, and then their top laner just hovered mid. I think it was a Maokai top lane game. But it sort of depends.
Yeah, you guys need to get bot power and look for flanks from
Because I think it's better for you to be in mid than now Silas. I think it's better for them to be inside them because they have a higher chance of finding a catch.
Yep.
But then Silas and Demos should already be pressuring bot lane right now. Or like walk in deep. They should already be here. And if not, if they can push out, maybe let them answer, try not to get collapsed on, right? Although it's a bit hard here. And then if someone answers side, maybe you can look to pressure. And if no one does, they can still walk up in for like a flank position. Right? Either way, this is like the only way you play. Because if you like allow them to get midsection here for free, it's really hard. But at least they're looking for like for flanks here, right? But I'd rather have them do it while bot lane is pushed out. And like be there earlier because maybe someone ends. Because there's always a chance that they end.
But your position is good, right?
I think this is probably the best 5 position we can get. This is probably the best 5 position we can get. But here, like, we're a little bit delayed in like in our timer. Like the idea is good. We get split a bit too hard though. Lucianami should be like sort of here, and then he look to really find the instant play onto Zaya, and that probably already goes. Because I don't want my Desire to be connected without getting a shit ton of damage from me.
For sure. I should ghost to it instantly.
Yeah. Because if you can pull her ult, then she's 100% dead. If she can dodge, maybe she can survive. But here, like, it's too late. Like, this fight is over. GG.
Then I use my ult.
But we were too indecisive. Like we need to insta-go. Insta-go with the flank. Because if she can read position, the fight is over again, right? Now the flank is gone. Now we should realize, okay, we need to get out. This is not winnable. This is not winnable. Oh wait, this is winnable, right?
I'm dead.
They don't have blue tree.
And at this point, I think the game is just over, right?
Yeah, I don't think we can do much.
But I think we
I did
actually learned like a
user.
decent amount from this game, so I'm pretty happy.
That's the way to flank them.
Two lanes. Yeah. Yeah, this
Wave then.
But he is like,
Look to TBI.
I'm doing on them.
I mean, at this point, you just can't do anything. They just 5-man, and it's GG.
Yeah.
They just deathball. Like, what can you do?
Wukong? Okay, Wukong the
It actually was nice to review the game. Does some interesting things.
Yeah, I think number one, vision setup. Like one thing, like as like a list you should go over as a jungle, right? Is like you always communicate what you want to do and you want a full clear, right? And really think about how this like impacts the game. Because one thing we need to know, like in general, our comp wants to play midsection into bot. Now we can't really do this on the first clear, right? It's unlikely. Wukong also paps down, so we can't really play for the dive. We can maybe look for an invade, but that's also like decent, pretty unrealistic. Not with like Silas, right? So you know, okay, you want to go for a full clear, right? I agree with it. I think you should go for a full clear. And then the question is like, how are we gonna set up vision for it, right? And just like in general, like always like set up this communication, because if you go on tryouts and you communicate about vision like around that, I think it's always good. Because here I think we have two options. Either we place here and then I control with here and here. If we can't contest mid, and if we say okay, like this is Seraphine, right, which is like a bit useless early, and we can contest mid, then we just drop wards here, we just get control wards here, and then we get ward here. Oh, not ward here, right? Yeah, we get ward here. On like the wall, right? So we still see like Wukong flanking. Right? And then bot then just continues to pressure while you full clear. Maybe like learn how to clear a bit, noob.
We don't have flash on Lucian.
Remember, I'm Olaf.
But either way, right? And then bot then just looks to crash on 5. So here I think it's bad for them to stay. I mean, they get even solo killed, right? So this is really horrible for us as like in the game. Like them getting solo killed is really bad, but they should already be base. Because if they just deed the wave, either by just playing like the waves differently, like of course I don't have that like perspective right now, right? But I can for sure play the wave differently. Like here they don't want to reset because you play for Scuttle Crab. To be fair, it doesn't matter if they reset here. You still get the Scuttle Crab. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe that's what they're thinking about, which is like sort of okay, right? But they can still look to go like this. Like they can still look to crash on 4-5, because then it can crash. Like then they can go base on 6, right? And then enemy either one shot 6, and then you have 7-8, or they crash on 7, right? And then you have wave 8-9, and on that you just get Drake 100%. And as it turns out,
Look to flash. I mean, but they can
right?
fight.
This is 4, this is 5. YouTube sucks. This is 6, right? And basically, like, what I'm just trying to say is, you get bounce again on Herald Timer, usually.
Base if you want.
Like this is where you get, like, Drake bounce, right? You slow push crash together.
Okay, just fight them, I guess.
Yeah.
Because this is 8, I think, right? This here is 9.
Do you need me to crash on bot? Just show no event push.
Wait, what, am I stupid?
Yeah, I'll start.
Yeah, it's 9. If so laners are 6, it's that. So wave 9, I think.
Yeah, 530 wave is 9. Yeah, 530 wave is 9. But this is 9. Because I said this is 9. So, but this is 9, this is 10, right?
Crash this bot.
But either way, we just get crash. And if it's like 8-9 crash, right? Because they crash on 7, which is like fine if they soul push and crash, right? Then right now they'd already crash, and then they play Drake together, and they just look for a reset, and then we just look to play for Herald after with like their wave stack. Because if we crash on a 9, there's no way in hell that if they slow push, that we don't have a bounce to Herald. It's completely impossible.
Yeah.
Because if they if we 530 like the 530 wave we crash, right? They for sure at the very latest bounce on 6. I mean, it might be a bit early to be fair.
Wukong was bot side, by the way.
Might be a bit early, but
Crash on bot, just show no event time.
we can still crash, and then we still have like bounce, right? And then like playing Herald should also be like sort of a freebie.
And then, okay, yeah.
Or then we should just look to communicate that. Of course you can't really like completely impact what the laners do. But you can ask him to have like to be strong or like to have push on like specific waves, right? Do you think you can have push on like the 5-minute wave, for example, right? You can try that.
Rakan is missing still, by the way.
If they don't do it or they can't do it afterward, it's like fine, right?
Guess they base.
But it's like the setup you can try to do.
Push now.
And then like the fights were cringe, right? Like I don't think we need to talk about them too much. And then like just as like in mid game, right? Be very decisive. So for scrims, the way to practice that, right? If you really don't know what to do mid game, legit just pause and ask.
Nah, I don't like to do this though.
Yeah, I know you don't like to do it, right? But if you legit don't know, right? Then how do you like practice it? Because then we were
Why?
just wasting
During
time.
the game.
Yeah, but then
Oh,
we
yeah.
still wasted like 50 minutes.
They're throwing like that, we can easily win.
I don't want to waste even half of the game in scrims. When we can legit do this by 30 seconds and ask, yo coach, we can't contest mid lane wave. Like what is an option?
I have seen my second item.
Or like just like talk between players.
Yeah, that's better this way.
Yeah, I also agree that it's better. But either way, like it sucks. Like if this is a scrim and we were perma to contest mid section, like we actually played our side lane a bit, right? So this is good. The way we talked about it in the communication was not good enough in my opinion, right? But the idea is good. Like you're not bad players. You're not. You're good players, right? But the thing is, if this was a scrim, and let's say you're perma contesting mid, and I'm the head coach, I'm legit pausing. Because I know like I break your concentration, but for me we're wasting like 50 minutes. And I don't want to waste even half of a game.
Yeah.
We don't have that many scrims. And I don't want to five games double block.
Guys, look, I think now
I don't like double blocking too much, right?
because they want
Personally.
now, and then we are using
I know you're also not the biggest fan. But then I want to
Yep.
get like the maximum out of every single game. Also, by the way, if you don't take games seriously against an open tool team, like I'm also piss flaming you, by the way. I don't give a shit. I can be the nicest and I can be the most toxic. I don't give a shit.
Grass is showing on there.
But we're not wasting my time. And we're not wasting yours either. Like, be respectful of your time and everyone else's time. Because here, like, we don't get control and we take long to realize that. Like, here we do, kinda. Like, here is good, right? Like, I don't mind Silas doing it. But you should communicate around that as well. Because this is nice, but we should already be doing that for, like, 5 minutes, basically. Because here you're clearing down, like, sort of makes sense, right? But right, you're taking your cams up, and I think you should be clearing down. Because if Rakan is top, well, Zai is probably also gonna be, right? So the real lane we really, like, can play, through is, like, bot side right now.
Grass is showing on there.
So we can't contest this anyway, right? So maybe look for a catch on bot. Like, the problem is that they have fucking Gragas, so it's really hard, right? And then play on Gnar timers. So here we have, like, timer on this wave, on this turn. So we should really look to play for it. But he loses Mega, so this sucks a bit.
Yeah.
Right, this is, like, what I dislike about Gnar. Like, I like Gnar as a champion nowadays. I think he can be really broken in teamfights. But, like, Gnar is not an easy champion, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. I think it's a bit hard to play with your timings.
Yeah, like, it's not easy. And I thought, like, as a team, we were not too good with Gnar timers. That's why I was against it, right? Because if this is not Gnar, we have turn on mid lane here. And if we have turn on mid lane here, we can maybe find a play. If they fuck up here and we have Ornn, this might be a game turning point. But we have mini Gnar, so this is like the problem. Like, I like Gnar, but this is like the big weakness of it.
They want to play for the scuttle. Gragas is doing it. Yes.
And this like this makes it a bit hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here, like, you at least try to get topside for it, right? So this is like quite nice. Like, at least you get turret for it.
Then the
And I think this like mostly to this game, I think.
Yep.
So one thing like I generally like also like wanted to ask you, right? Like next to like game specific things is like how are you currently practicing? Like what is it that you focus on in practice right now?
You mean in the off season?
Yeah.
Well, I'm spamming a lot of solo queue.
Okay.
Keep a good level. Still having my document when I'm writing a lot of stuff.
Good.
Watching some streams. I mean, I was watching Seal recently.
Okay.
I watched. Oh, I need to ask you this also, because I was watching a bit of LS, and she was talking about Belveth and
Mhm.
saying that Conqueror was so shit on her, and that Kraken Sphere was not good as well. So, what do you think about that?
Kraken say was
Is-
not good.
Like he's
said?
saying that you shouldn't go Kraken, but Shieldbow on her, because it's a
Okay.
reset champion, and that
I've been thinking about it actually because like for one reason, okay? When I like I don't know if you know, right, but I play a bit of Marcy currently.
okay.
And so like and I checked what like Marcy players do and I like check what like Zinerias does, right?
Yeah.
I think you know Zinerias, right?
Yeah, of course.
And what he does usually is he goes like Noon Quiver, right? And then looks to go Blade. This is the biggest fucking spike in existence for all tech-based champions that want to clear jungle. You clear jungle so fast and you're so strong.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
So on Bel'Veth, right, the problem that I have with Kraken Slayer is you deal so much damage, but you're so squishy. And like I try to play a bit of Bel'Veth, I'm really shit at the champion. I'm really garbage at it, right, so I always die. But I feel like if you don't get super far ahead, like you're too squishy with Kraken Slayer, and if you get super far ahead, you don't need Kraken Slayer damage anyway. I just like my current take on it a bit.
Okay.
So like I see like a lot of Kraken Slayer, and there's like one guy on NA, I think. There's like Bel'Veth OTP. Like he used to be very high elo, I don't know if he still is. Yeah, this is it Amal? Yeah, it's Amal. Like this guy's like really really 1v9 with Bel'Veth, it seems. Like he's going a lot of Kraken Slayer. Sometimes he goes tank, but mostly Kraken Slayer.
Conqueror as well.
But what rune does LS even like recommend? On Bel'Veth?
I sent you the video, by the way.
you sent me
He's
the
talking
video?
about he talked about Lethal Tempo. That it was apparently better, but don't really understand why. Saying that basically to proc the Conqueror you have to use all of your spells, so for some reasons that was bad.
Yeah, but then you still have your E, right?
And then the heal from the Conqueror wasn't working on your E, so
I'm not.
that's why that.
I honestly don't know. But what I do know is what I like most on Bel'Veth is going Noon Quiver into Blade. I think this is good.
Okay, but I feel like you delay your first spike a lot, no?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's
Depends
like
on your
a lot of
base.
girls.
Depends on your base.
Yeah.
If you have Mythic and base and you need it right now, then go for it. If you don't, just delay it. At least that's what like Sword Art Cineria does on Mastery, and I think it, from item builds, like Bel'Veth is very similar to Mastery.
Yeah.
So this is actually something I quite like because then your clears very fast. Like clearing with Noon Quiver on Bel'Veth is just so nice. But getting played is also so nice. I mean, Bel'Veth Blade is not as broken as Viego Blade. I know you still probably. Oh, wait, you went Blade first? Don't tell me you went Kraken Slayer first. Don't tell me Boukada. Oh, God bless, God bless, God bless. Blade is such a broken spike. Like, I know you also like other items, right? But I feel like Blade first on Viego is just the nicest.
Yeah, I mean it's good for sure, but
I feel like you just one-shot people when you have Blade.
it's
Like
the same
auto
with
Q,
Kraken,
auto
though.
W, auto. Yeah, sure, but Blade also gives you movement speed.
Yeah, true.
And I
And
love.
lifesteal.
Yeah, and lifesteal. I mean, lifesteal is like nice. It doesn't matter too much, I think. But like Blade has more burst, right, than Kraken Slayer, and you also have the movement speed, which is like very, very nice. This is why I like it. But we don't talk about my Viego win rate dropped from like 75% in like or like 80% in D1 D2 MMR to like 60 now. So don't talk about it. I'm only losing now.
It's fine.
But either way, right? So for this, like I can't give you like an answer. I don't know.
Okay.
What I do want to talk a little bit still about though is like what is there like one thing you currently practice in solo queue, or is there like multiple things you're trying to do?
Wait, let me check my document. I mean, right now I'm mostly practicing champs. I mean, if you
Okay.
go a bit further on my match history and Boukada, I've been practicing Makai, not Toshan, yeah, this one. Like, look at those tanks game, didn't go super well. Like,
Why don't you
5
go Barmy into Demonic?
wait, Demonic on Makai?
Yes, everyone does it at Worlds basically. It's so good.
I think only Canyon did it and then everyone
Candian
copied
did it,
him.
and Juan did it first. The DRX game 1.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but I just can't win for these champions for some reasons. I'm just so bad at Makai.
Juan did it first. Look, it's yeah.
Wait, he's just playing full AP?
Hmm?
He's just playing full AP then, or what?
No, I think he goes tank after.
By the way, do you know how to choose between the Phase Rush and Aftershock on Makai? Because I feel like unless I'm playing against Olaf, I won't play Phase Rush.
I mean, I think you go Aftershock if they just one-shot you. And you go Phase Rush if you don't need it to not get one-shot. Actually,
in 200, Phase Rush is good for the ultimate, I guess.
Yeah, you don't go Aftershock against Trundle ever. If you go Aftershock against Trundle, it's GG. So if you base Johnny, you go Spellbook.
Really?
Yeah, like if you go Aftershock on Johnny and he ults you also have the passive, man. You're gonna lose. Like after he ults you, when you have Aftershock and passive up, right? You're gonna be minus armor basically. I mean, not really, right? But it feels like it's. You have less armor than the fucking 80 carry.
Wait, so what should I take? Spellbook, free boots, I guess?
On Johnny against Trundle, yeah.
Yeah. Future's Market and okay.
You can also take like stopwatch every one for dice if you have something valuable.
Yeah, true. Okay,
Um,
okay.
But yeah, I like demonic second. For solo queue, let's check win rates. But I'd reckon that demonic probably is like one of wait, no, this is for yeah, well, look. I mean, I think like AP Maokai just has so much value in solo queue. I mean, Bambi's saying wait, Tail Fleet Spellbook, all fine face rush rotation, all for Zijani probably, right? Like this is like more what like a master jungle player. Like I'm playing Bambi right now. Is he master? Let me check. Okay, master jungle player is nearly grandmaster, nearly grandmaster. In chat is saying. So basically, take everything but aftershock. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I should try this AP Maokai thing, I guess. Maybe
Yeah.
it works better.
Like you don't just go full AP, but demonic is very nice with your saplings, right? And you proc
I mean,
your demonic so easily.
He went Moelo second, though. But Moelo is so bad on Maokai, no? Or
Yeah,
why would you pick
I don't know about Morello, but I do know about demonic, and I think demonic is good.
Okay.
Especially if you play against assassins, right? You just perma-throw saplings where they can flank from. So you always see them and they walk into your E, and you have demonic embrace, so you just chunk them for like 15% of their HP. Imagine they do it twice, they're like 30% HP. They like only like 70% HP afterwards.
Yep.
It's quite funny. No, but why I said this, right, is right now, like you asked me like how to like further climb, right? Because you're like chilling on like 2 1k LP accounts, right? But it's like pretty much I mean you've been climbing, but you've been climbing because it's off season now.
Yeah, but the thing is that on this account I put it at 1k1 quite easily, I think.
Okay.
Because I was trying a lot. But then the other one I put it around 1k50, yeah. But then I was just, winning, losing. And it lasts for like 1 week, I think.
Okay.
Like I've been spamming on this hack and I just couldn't reach more than 1k 80 LP, I think.
On this account?
And
On
then
Boukada?
yeah, on Boukada on this one,
Okay.
exactly. And then I had this lose streak on all of those tanks champion, and then I'm just around 1k now. But I
mean,
don't know, for some reason, so I cannot just go higher.
Now one thing that you have to keep in mind is that you're playing 20 fucking champions.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why you decided to go fucking Elise here.
But they have Rek'Sai. So
yeah. Yeah, like you go Elise now just for fun because they're Rek'Sai.
But I'm trying to like have a small champion pool, but sometimes it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like right now I have Graves, Nidalee, Bel'Veth, Sejuani, and Olaf. But for example, if they don't have any dashes, I see a good Jarvan angle, I want to play the champ,
Yeah. But
if they have Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Akali, I want to go Poppy as well. Like there are so many games where I just want to play something else.
yeah, I think that's fine, right? But like this is why I like a 2-account setup, right? Right now you're trying to get both accounts at very high elo, right?
Yeah.
But like this is not like a bad view necessarily, right? But right now, why are you playing solo queue? Like you're mostly playing for solo queue to get to improve, right? Because no matter what, you're probably still getting your tryouts, no? If you like 1.1 or like 1.2k LP, you should still get tryouts, no?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you think that makes a big difference? I don't think it does. And you already have experience like LFL in like 1 game LVP basically, right? So, like you're probably still gonna get your tryouts, right? So right now, I think like most important is to just play for improvement, no?
I guess, but still, I would like to, reach the top 50 at least.
Yeah, of course, right? But you're gonna do this if you play for improvement anyway at one point, no?
Yeah, I guess.
Like if you get better, right? So if you have like one account, right? Like I don't mind you like playing more champions, but like my opinion, you always have like one account where you're full tryhard every time, right? So you play like one block of like 3 games, possibly on that account every day, right?
This one kind of.
And then you play 2 to 3 champions. If you have like brick broken Jarvan spot, it's like fine, right? But mostly play like fewer champions, full tryhard, right?
Yeah.
And then on second account you can chill a bit, right? Because here, like, of course you're tryharding, but you're playing more champions, and it's like still pretty easily like 900 1k.
Yep.
At least like in off season, right? When you don't have scrims. Because if you have scrims and then you play a main account, then your second, of course, account is always gonna drop, because your concentration just drops. Like during season and when you play a main account, like you can't like keep Smurf on high elo, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really hard, right? But main thing like I really want you to do is like you've got a document, right, with notes, which is really good. I recommend it to everyone, you know that. I told Excellent to do it. I don't know if you know Excellent. You probably do. This guy goes probably AFK in like half of his solo queue.
Actually, I don't know this guy.
You don't know this guy? It was Patreon Vega V2 before.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, I do. Yeah.
But I told him to do it, and let's see like if he's gonna improve with that, right? But I like you to make document because you know like how I feel about reflection in League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
And having notes about yourself is the easiest, right? So I don't know what like you always make notes about games, right?
Yeah, basically, I'm just going into review instantly after the game, watching early game, and then when I thought that I lose the game, and trying to write 1, 2, or 3 things about the game.
Okay.
Depending.
One thing I'd like you to do, okay, is
Yeah.
I think because you're playing like when you play on this account. Oh, wait, why is it so thick from now on? If you play on this account, right, you have like 15 minutes here anyway, basically minimum, right?
Yeah, 10 to 15 usually.
So you basically have time to review there. So I don't mind that too much. To review in between games. But what I want you to do is every day or after every like block of games, right? Like or like every few days at the very least, look over your notes and try to find out okay which mistake you do the most, and check okay which mistake is the most important, and then you make a list. Okay, we first this mistake, then second one, then third one. Okay, and then you find out okay well this is the mistake I do the most, right? Let's say it is like bad pathing decision or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you figure out how do I fix it, right? Like think about it. Maybe watch like a better player do it, right? Like this is like where the streams come in that I sent you, and then focus on your next games, on your next block, on this one thing. Because one thing you have to look at is there's a big difference between playing the game and like deliberate practice, right? Deliberate practice is like the very specific practice of one specific thing. And there's a reason why, like in like school and stuff, you learn like one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing, right? But first you do like always one thing. Because if you do multiple things at one time, you're not gonna improve. So for example, the best athletes, right? If you like look at like basketball, if you look at football, I mean football is like a specific thing as well, right? But like American football, or if you look at like soccer or like normal football first, right? People rarely play the entire field in practice. Like basically no team does it at the top, right?
Okay.
They don't play like 11 men against 11 men that often. They often play like half field, or they do like attacking drills, right? They do like free kicks, or like in basketball, they do like free throws, or they do setups, right? All of these sort of things, right? But they rarely play the entire field.
Yeah.
For one major reason, is that it's a lot easier to learn one specific thing at the same time. And not one specific thing at once, right? You can't focus on a lot of things at the same time. So by targeting one specific thing and trying to improve on that is the most important. Now the problem that you have as jungle is number one, in League of Legends, there's no custom game modes. And number two, it's not like you can do 1v1s.
By the way, I've been doing this a bit with a friend, like level 3 1v1 in the river to see, for example.
Yeah, you can. This you can do.
know?
Yeah, it's harder, but you can do this, right? Let's say you have like a bad read or something, or you practice a champion, right? If you practice Graves or like Nidalee, you need to be really fucking good at the 1v1s. Otherwise, these champions suck, in my opinion. If you get 1v1 as Graves when you invade, this champion is shit. If you get 1v1 on Nidalee when you invade, champion also pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
So 1v1s I think are good, right? Because let's say like you watch your replays, right, and notes. You see, okay, my problem is I look for invade, I think the invade is good, I misplay it, right? How do you get better? Of course you can go solo queue game, but if you want to get better at this, like this is decided at minute 3 to 4, right? Are you gonna focus on one thing at minute 3 to 4, and then the next 20 minutes they fucking suck, right?
Yeah.
Right? Might as well do it. What he said is actually a really good point, right? I didn't even think about this, right? Because they always tell laners to like do 1v1s. Like if they suck at laning. But you can also do this in jungle. Of course, you can also do it against me. Like you're probably gonna cry though because I'm gonna smash you. If you have problems playing against maybe some Trundle, I can help you. My Trundle is really clean.
It was mostly about some Wukong matchups because this champ felt super strong, and he actually wins against a lot of champs. Also Diana, like.
You think Wukong is still playable? Like this
No, it
so
was
bad.
like
back then,
like
okay.
when we were on teams back then,
Yeah. No, I think it's good, right? But really find like one specific thing and then try to improve on it. Because I know like a lot of people, like I know you do notes, right? And it's really good. But I don't know how specific your practice is. And if you feel like you're struggling, right? Like if you're not improving, like if you feel like you're not improving, I'm not saying you're not, right?
Yeah.
But if you feel like you're not improving or you're not like climbing or whatever, right? Try to change up your system. So I wouldn't like change not taking notes, But I would change like the way you look to practice like the specific things you look at.
Yeah, because I think the issue is that I actually kind of do what you told me, like
Okay.
trying to focus on the point. But what happens is that, for example, one of the mistakes I've been doing a lot recently was that I was over trying to freeze a lane for my laners. Like
Okay.
for example, enemy jungler is
Mhm.
pushing with his mid, lose like 300 HP, 400 HP
Okay.
to not even freeze the wave, and then I'm
Mhm.
fucked, and enemy jungler can invade me for free.
Mhm.
So I was focusing on this. Then I stopped doing this mistake on the next game. But then 3 other mistakes will happen,
Yeah,
And
of course.
then
Yeah, but this is
I'm
normal,
losing
no?
my focus on but then I'm losing my focus on the previous mistake, and I end up doing it again on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game after.
But one thing you really need to understand is, okay, if you have one mistake that you think is the most important to fix, focus on that. If you focus on multiple mistakes at once, you're not gonna improve. Like it's not helping
Yep.
you. Like I know it's like frustrating and you want to like fix everything at once, right? But it just doesn't work like that. You can have maybe like a second, maybe a third, but honestly, really one major mistake that is losing you the games and focus on that. I know it gets harder when you're at the top level, while your major mistakes are honestly not as big usually. Right? Because all of your
Yep.
major mistakes are basically small mistakes. If you look at like, if you compare to a fucking silver player, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But these are the things, right? And this is why it's very important that when you take notes, to look over multiple days and then make a list of what you wrote down the most and what is the most important thing to fix, right? So what happens the most and what is like the worst for your game. And
But
then
then
find out,
don't-
okay, what is the most important to fix first.
But then don't you think I should kind of not focus on the single mistake, but just write all of the mistakes I'm doing, and then make like and then later on, sorry, check which one is appearing the most, and then I'm focusing on this one.
Well, sort of, because you can do both. So in game, you focus on one mistake, how to fix it, right? But you still review, right? You mostly review for this mistake. But if you think, okay, well, I'm also doing another mistake, you can write it down. But don't focus on that too much unless you think it's even more important,
Yeah.
right? Like you should still do your review, mostly focusing on like the thing you want to fix, right? But still write things down. So when you like fix this mistake and you think you already do it, you look at your notes again. Okay, I fixed this. I'm better at this. What is the next important thing? And then you look over the last few days of notes again, right? And try to find like the next thing. And then you like steadily have progress. And then you can make like one page in your notes, by the way, right? Where you write it down, and then you do like number one mistake, right? And you do like a checkbox, and when you do it correctly, you do a check mark. Because it's really nice that when you like finally fix the mistake, if you put a check mark behind
Actually,
it.
yeah, actually, it gives me an idea. Because what I would do is that I would just have kind of this, but I wouldn't put like number 1, number 2, number 3. I would just, write everywhere I've done this mistake, this, and this. But maybe what I should do is that I spent a whole week finding all of those mistakes, and then at the end of the week, I'm just looking at which one is going up the most, and then doing what you just told me, like listen, this one is the number 1 to fix. Yeah, actually, this could be good.
But you can already do it like over the last few games. Like, of course, you can do it in like a week from now on, right? But you have notes from the last few days, right? You can also just do it now.
Yeah.
Like also works, right? But like honestly, really like figure out what is the most important, and then one step at a time. It's so much easier to improve from there. And then when you have this mistake, really think about, okay, well, how do I fix it, right? And look at these mistakes when you analyze other like players. Or if, for example, let's say you watch like VODs, right, from other players, right, and you see, okay, this guy always does that, right? I need to get better at that. I think it's very important, right? It's like the same thing, right? This time, instead of like fixing a mistake, it's like learning something, like learning how to do something. Let's say it's like invading like bull, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then you like analyze this gameplay, right? Write down, okay, how does he do it? And then in game you try to do it. Except when you're learning something, you should probably do it on Smurf account for sure. Whereas if it's fixing mistakes, you do it on both accounts. But it's like basically the same logic, right? What I just want you to do is deliberate practice, right? So one thing at a time, really focused, and then really analyze these mistakes, because this makes it a lot easier for you to improve, I think.
Yeah.
I think like this is the most important thing.
Yeah. No, for sure, try. I think it could help. Thanks.
Okay. What are your other questions?
Well, right now, don't think I have much. It was mostly about Belvez and about this.
I will figure it out a bit. Maybe I'll play a little bit of Belveth later and like try it out myself and like to get a feeling. But I'm not a good Belveth player, so it's like a bit fake info. But I can still give you my take on it.
Just quickly about the meta, because after I have to go. But
Okay.
don't you feel like the meta is super like open? I feel like you can play a lot of junglers.
You mean
Like
solo
of
queue or
course there are-
competitive?
No, competitive. Like you can play those Maokai Sejuani champs for sure, but I feel like a lot of other champs can be viable.
I think honestly, the meta is very, very open, but it depends on your laners very hard. Because some laners
Yeah.
fucking suck. Right? So like I really like playing like I think Kraves,
Yeah.
Hecarim, like these sort of champions can complete solo carry if your mid laner doesn't need help and doesn't want to play Silas. These champions 1v9.
Yeah.
If your mid laner is just someone that says, okay, yeah, I don't mind playing Karma, these guys 1v9 and then Karma plays with the team and you farm side lane. These champions are fucking 1v9. If you play Kraves and your mid laner wants to pick Silas into Azir, well, Kraves fucking sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then you're basically in the DRX sub esports game. Now they still won it. But look how Bullshit had to play this game. So his mid laner
TRX won
goes...
this game.
Yeah, they won.
Okay.
Look this draft. I mean, I don't know why they blind picked Nord to this. They could have had winning bot lane as well. But look, he does red Raptors and crosses over mid. And then sets up vision. Like, imagine you have to play crazy like that. Like, it's like, why play crazy at this point, right? Like, if this is how you need to play crazy, then it's like fucking sucks. I mean, he doesn't need to set up vision here.
But how TRX won this game though? I feel like Azir should just 1v9 this game, no?
They won this game, if I remember correctly, by just killing them.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
I mean, honestly, like, I think it's just mostly killing them. So they have like nice gank here. But Yoshi didn't even play this game too well. Like, he just at one point, like, yeah, I remember Zeka. It's Zeka like 1v9ing again. So I think it's like a bot lane play, if I remember correctly, where Zeka moves. Yeah, they dive bot lane. Look, they dive bot lane here, and then Zeka comes and kills them all. And then Zeka got 2 kills on Silas, and then it's Zeka on his melee champions, and then he just gets another kill. And then it's just GG. Like, Zeka has 3-0 on Silas. How do you win? It's basically Zeka solo carrying on Silas or Akali, as always. This guy is fucking correct on this champion. This guy is so correct on these champions. Maybe like there's an interesting jungle game because you haven't watched like these games, right? Is there an interesting jungle game? Honestly, I don't think there was today. I mean, Rogue just...
look at them later, but...
I mean...
Wait, is there Worlds tonight, by the way? Or it's next week?
It's today.
There are games? I'm not sure if there's Worlds on Monday.
I think there is.
There's?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, okay, nice. Oh, actually, the first game would be nice.
Look, today, tomorrow, Wednesday's off day. See? Wednesday's off day.
Okay.
I think. It's a bit confusing, actually. But I think Wednesday's off. Oh, wait. No, Tuesday and Wednesday off day. Look, Tuesday and Wednesday. Because this is today, right? So Monday. And then tomorrow there's no games in the evening, right?
Yeah.
And then it's only like Thursday evening, right? So Tuesday, Wednesday off day.
But then just quickly, because I really need to leave after this.
Okay.
If there are game formats that at me from group stage that you think I should rewatch for sure, that was super important. Because a lot of people talked to me about Damwon JJ, and I couldn't watch the full game yet.
I think Damwon JDG is a good game to watch, but it's not like God Jungle v God Jungle. Like, I don't want to spoil to you. Don't look. But it's not bad game to watch, but it's not God Jungle v God Jungle. I think Gigabyte's Marine Rogue game is decent to watch because Malang just claps enemy mid lane a bit. But it's like basically what he did in regular split, right? So it's not that surprising.
Okay.
But it's still like not bad to watch. Like for 2x speed, I think it's good to watch.
Okay, sure. Then I guess I'll watch this one.
I will let you know. I will look a bit over the other games and let you know.
Okay, nice. Well, thanks a lot. It was really nice.
Alright.
I appreciate it.
But actually, I think I can clip that over. Wait, I think it's actually good for other people to watch it as well, right? I think. Do you mind me putting it on YouTube?
No, you can.
Ah, okay. Merci. Merci.
De rien. Alright, thanks a lot, Dodo, again.
See ya, Boukada. Have a nice day, man. Bye bye.